Well, hello there, and welcome back to Wilderness Adventures. My name's Fred Green. There we go, and we are just about finished with our cabin. We've got a couple of walls left and the roof, and we should be set with the amount of resources that I gathered over the last couple of days. Alright, let's drop these items off right here. There we go. Well, my friends, welcome back. If this is your first time, you are, hopefully you enjoy my wilderness adventure, where past couple of days, I took the opportunity to do a lot of fishing. I got a whole bunch of small fish. I also processed a number of larger fish, like some medium bass, and made some good food here. Our weight's still trending down, but that's all right. After we get our cabin going, we will take a little bit more of a break as we practice other crafting techniques that will take a little less energy. You can see I got a cabinet installed here. I processed some water. I got a old stove inside, so we are looking pretty good. So let me process more of this wood, and after I craft this wall, boy, I'll see you on the roof, and we'll see what we can do for the next couple of days here. All right, friends, here we go. All right. Well, with that last little bit, that is the walls. There we go. Well, all right. That's not too bad. We're going to process a little bit more of these planks after I get a drop of water, and we'll finish the roof. Boy, I'm confident we're going to finish it by nightfall. Oh, that's wonderful news. All right, just a couple more logs here, and then we'll see what we can do with the amount of wood that we've got already on hand. All right, let's saw 4 more logs. All right, one nail, 1 plank. Oh, let's be real careful. Right here. There we go. All right. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Making my eyes bug out of my head when I look at the roof like this. I really got to be careful, don't I? All right. That's good, half the floor done. Boy, you wouldn't be able to tell. Right there. Let's grab a couple more planks and see what we can do. All right. Oh, we are almost there. Well, I gotta take care of my noodles here. You see that? And then, boy, I think we'll finish it. Yep, certainly by nightfall here. All right, well, we finished that, but we broke our hammer, so let's see here. Let's grab that. Well, look at that. We got close. Luckily, I'm a carpenter, so let's go make a medium handle here and see what we can do. All right, we can carve a medium handle by using our knife and this tree branch here. Got a stone here. Yep, there we go. Maybe we can make a stone hammer, and that will help us make what we need. If not, well, then we know where a couple of hammers are at. There we go. All right, we need a tree branch and probably some twine, I bet. All right, make a stone hammer, kitchen knife, tree branch, stone, and twine. Okay, now we're going to see if that works to help make fix our regular hammer here. If not, well, we'll make a trip up to the camp, or we'll make a trip up to the farm there, check on the animals, and then we'll finish our roof tomorrow. But boy, we are so close. Okay, there we go. Now, we've got a stone hammer. Let's see if we can fix our regular hammer. There we go. Look at that, a little bit of ingenuity. Okay. All right, friends, we are back in business with our ball-peen hammer. There we go. All right, getting close. I can feel it. Now, I don't know if we'll convert another building on the side of these stairs or take out the stairs or not, but for now, we'll use that to get up to the roof. And I don't know if we'll make the roof another type of living space or something like that. I haven't thought that far ahead. I got a garden to attend to. I've got animals that I got to shepherd over here. Oh, I got a whole bunch of fishing. I got my weight to worry about. Boy, all sorts of things. Okay, well, let's not fall off here. Let's get some floors going. And hopefully finish this roof. Now, as I put the final touches on this, it's going to be a while until we get windows. Unless I just take apart that farmhouse, but I know we are going to take some of the doors apart and get some door hinges and knobs and at least get some doors in here. Not tonight, but probably tomorrow. We'll take a trip to that farm. Here, I'm going to make a couple of buckets. And then we'll let this sit for a little bit as we cultivate chickens and some of the other animals here. We'll ferry them over here. Let's see if we can't scat out Mulder a little bit more. Maybe we can find a little trailer or something like that. All animals over. Otherwise, it's gonna be a big back and forth montage or something. Oh, there we go. Almost done. All right. A couple more planks from the roof here, and boy, I think we'll finish it. All right, 2 more planks. Looks like we've got 2 right here. Boy, we did math correctly right there, didn't we? Measure twice and cut once. That's what I always say. Wow, friends, let's go down and admire our work here. Here we go. Wow, look at that. 4 walls, a roof. We are well on our way to living out civilization in a bit more comfort here. Okay. Well, friends, I think what I'm going to do is relax for the rest of the night, get things sorted here. And tomorrow, we are going to take a trip to, well, first I'm going to craft some more buckets here, just in case we can milk any critters over there, if there are any that I didn't really check. We're going to spend some time over at that farm tomorrow. Take some doors apart, see what we can do about windows, I don't know about that. And bring some of that stuff over here and make this space more like home. All right. If I don't see you later in the evening, I'll see you in the morning on the road. Well, good morning, friends. I thought I'd do a little bit of foraging on the way to the truck here. We are on our way to that farm. We're going to check on the animals there. We're going to take apart some of their doors and see what we can do about finding last little bit of stuff that's over there and bring it over to our camp here. So I'm going to do some foraging on the way and make sure I'm stocked up on any kind of wild edibles, and hopefully we'll have a nice quiet day of animal care. All right, my friends, made it to this farm here. There we go. All right, let's do a last little good check of this garage. See if we can take anything else, and we'll take the house apart for a little bit of parts that we think we might need. Now, I could save my time and create all the forges and stuff like that, but, well, this is using my brain as best I can. The forges, those are come in time, and that is part of the end game, I think. Metal sheet? That might help. Add to our already robust iron scraps and whatnot. Pliers, I just don't recall what I picked up a pair right there. Okay, good. Mechanics, I don't know. There's another steel sheet here. Great, we'll put these right in the truck now. Passed a couple of dead ones a while back on the road, but they are around, so I gotta be careful. Alright, let's do what we can to take apart some of these inner doors here. And then if we need to take apart the outer doors, we sure can. Alright, we are looking for at least 2 doorknobs and 4 handles. That is the goal here. Alright, well, part way there. Alright, not as much luck right there in that one. Yeah, we'll just take apart as many as we can. Alright, that is it for the doors up here. We have 3 doorknobs and 7 hinges. So we've got enough for our cabin. I'd like to get a couple more as we can so we can work on chicken coops and a fence around that. Alright, 5 doorknobs and 11 hinges. I also have an assortment of planks, but we'll see what we can do with any other items first before I take those. Alright, looks like the feeding trough's empty. Chickens probably could do with a little bit of cleaning, huh? Well fed, not thirsty. Alright, we'll leave the eggs there for the moment. Alright, speaking of being hungry, I guess I'm a little peckish here. Alright, small white bass. There we go. Okay. Couple little guys here. We'll move them in just a moment. Alright, let's check on these cows. See if any of them might have bred at all. Oh, let's check our shed here. Yeah, more windows and all that we need. Looked at grabbing one of these windows. I need a crowbar to pick it up. So, we could be on the hunt for a crowbar. I'm sure we've crossed one at some point. But that is for another time. Alright, claw hammer. You know what? We'll take both of them. Looks like we're... hit that. And this rope. We'll leave the rope in the truck. Just in case we ever want to bring a critter to and from. Alright, let's go check on all these cows. And then we'll check on the sheep. I think we'll get the chickens first. Make sure we grab all of them as best we can and give them a safe home. And then we'll work on the sheep. And try to take care of the cows. They're the biggest. But for now, we'll just check on them. Alright, well fed, not thirsty, good. Alright. She's ready for milking. So let's see what I can do here. I brought a couple of buckets. Okay. And how about you? Alright, you're ready for milking as well. Okay. Well, that's good. We'll have to come back regularly. And we got a stud over there. Or I guess that'd be a bull, huh? Studs are different. Alright, let's check on you. Looks like food is doing okay. They can eat grass, water. It's been raining. Alright, healthy, well-fed, not thirsty. Great. Okay, we might have to make a trip every other day or so. Get some milk. Now I believe it is 5 units of milk, either cow or sheep. And then we can churn butter, and we are going to need that. Boy, we might eat an entire stick of butter just to get our weight turning back up. That might be the goal. We'll see how these sheep are doing, though. And if we need, we can, well, slaughter one and bring one back. All right. Petting them and taking care of them, that'll increase our animal skill. And that's how you learn how to take care of animals. All right, got a little whippersnapper there. There you go. Look at you. See, there you go. Little tender love and care. And we're all right. All right, she's a little sickly, it looks like. Dying of thirst. Okay. Aha! They didn't have any water troughs in here at all. All right, let's go and take care of them. We've got planks. We'll just bring those down here. Ooh, the one thing I don't have is nails. That is a problem. Boy, plenty of water right there, though. Yeah, that is the next order of business. We're going to make sure we take care of these animals, build a chicken coop, and get them over there at least. All right, get that rope in there. Okay, let's get those planks. And, well, we'll take apart some of this furniture. Maybe we'll get a couple of nails. What do we need? Let's see, carpentry. Nope. All right, 4 planks, 2 nails. That's all we're gonna need. All right, got our planks. Let's try to grab a couple of nails here. See if we can gather from this desk. All right, there's our 2 nails. That is what we're looking for. Okay, and we got our bucket. So, let's go down there. We'll make sure the sheep are nice and watered here. And then we'll see if there's any to be milked. Also try to water these chickens. Looks like that's empty as well. All right, but the chickens we're going to save pretty quick here. There we go. All right, let's use our bucket and get you some water here. All right, we're able to do this because I really overdid it on cooking and kind of traveling with enough food with me. So I wouldn't be miserable while taking care of these guys, but boy, I didn't want them to die. Okay. All right, we'll fill this up a couple of times, make sure they're taken care of. All right, let's use the... Oh, there we go. Yeah, come on, take a drink, my friends. There you go. Oh, that's wonderful. There you go. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean to... All right, well fed and not thirsty. Good, good, good. All right. Dying of thirst. Oh, boy. Oh, go ahead and take a drink. All right, no milk to be given by these guys. I got one that's a little sick, but we're going to monitor a little bit here. The rest are doing okay. All right. Well. I think we've done all we can right here. All right, my friends. Well, farm's doing okay. Let's get back home and order things there and see what we can do about a chicken coop and all that. And boy, we'll start ferrying some of these chickens around. Next course of action really is to go around Muldra, see if we can't find a good trailer or something like that so we can be economical about what we're doing. Well, I'll see you back at camp, my friends. just in case for these chickens. We'll take their poop too. Use it for compost. Alright, my friends, now we'll see you back at camp. Alright, my friends, camp is just in sight, so I think what I'm going to do is get things dropped down, sorted out here, and we'll get some doors going. And that will be the rest of the night for here. I'll check my traps, so we got some good fishing implements for tomorrow. And, well, we'll see what we're going to do tomorrow. Most likely stay at camp. The animals are hopefully doing well. Well, we'll see what we can do about getting a forge and a furnace going, see what quality we want to do. Most likely it's got to be, I'm going to go out looking for stones and work on my masonry so I can create a really good one at the moment. And I got to worry about my food because, my goodness, that weight, no matter how much I keep feeding myself, it's just going. So this is my food. Right here. Let's put everything right in there. And we'll get the fixings for these doors here, and I'll install them with you, all right? All right, my friends, we are going to need our hammer, 4 planks, 4 nails, 2 hinges, and a doorknob. So double all that except for the hammer, and we will finish our doors and the cabin as far as I'm concerned. The windows we'll worry about in the future. That might be something I can officially do here, and I won't have to worry about it. All right, let's saw these logs here. Should give us 9 planks, so we'll have 1 extra. All right, we sure lucked out with all the nails on our travels, didn't we? Okay, now we need... four hinges. And 2 knobs. All right. One door down, and our final bit of the cabin for the moment. There we go. All right, my friends, I'm going to get things sorted here. Get nice and light. We're going to check all the fishing traps, make sure we have some good bait, and maybe we'll start off with a little bit of light fishing tomorrow morning, and we'll figure out what else to do before I say goodbye to you, friends. All right. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, good morning, friends. I'm processing a couple of frogs. Found some frogs and mussels and all that. I broke 2 of my fishing nets, so we'll repair those in a little bit. We'll get some of this meat cooked up so I can use it in salads. There we go. All right. There, we'll get all that cooked up. There, mussels are already done. And then, boy, we got to take a look at our farm. I didn't really know what I was doing planting crops, so I have to do a little bit more research on that. I think I lost all my tomatoes, but cabbage, that might be a good hearty vegetable I can use. And maybe we'll get some of those planted. Here we go. All right, let's put out that fire. There we go. Okay, now we can create a couple more items of food here. I'm going to get that all sorted out and attend to our garden out there a little bit. Look, oh, it's nice and warm in here. Boy, I tell you, this is a little bit more like living. And look at this. We've got a nice big plot of land here that we can use for getting a chicken coop. I think we'll probably get the chicken coops going right about here as best we can. We'll start off with 1, but we'll maybe build with mine for 4 so we can have 4 different families going. Or whatever you call a roost of chickens. Boy, whatever you call them. All right, friends, we're going to have a light day today here. A little bit of gardening, not too heavy work, just so I can save on a little bit more of my calories until I really get something going here. Oh, boy, this poor garden. It did not do well by having me as... Oh boy, look at that. Yeah, we'll take down these tomatoes. Everything else is doing all right. Yeah, rosemary. Oh, dead broccoli. Oh boy, look at that. Well, another part of the universe I'm going to have to understand, but that is all right. All right, let's go grab a shovel. And at least a little bit here, and then, boy, any root vegetables here. Let's check and see what we got. There's potatoes. Seeds and berries and whatnot. I don't want to worry too much about that. All right, well, let's do a lot of these potatoes here. All right, let's see what we got. All right, let's do sweet potatoes right here. And regular potatoes right here. All right, back-breaking work, but I didn't want to do, but had to be done. All right, I needed to cut down a tree there, but that is all right. We need to craft a couple more items here. Let's just drop these things. Drop that, because we are going to have to create a little bit more storage here. So, what I envision is creating a row, at least a couple more storage points, so we can move a lot of items into the cabin here. We'll use some of this oddball storage over here for any drying racks or other crafting stations that we want to have inside. I envision a side over here, maybe something small, or at least until we get this garden situated here, right, where we can create an indoor, maybe drying location that might go here and utilize these steps. And of course we have the tops of all these levels. And we will have the chickens right here in the center. And then we'll move the sheep, maybe the cows or pigs next, and get farmland, animal pens going right here, utilizing the lakes and fishing and all that. So that is my vision for the future. So my friends, what I'm going to do for the rest of the day is gather up these items. I'm going to make that bucket, water the garden that we just planted, all those potatoes. And I'm going to take a couple of days here to do some fishing, get some items sorted, work on my knapping and masonry, and when we come back, I'll build some more crafting stations with you, get a chicken coop going and all that, and that way it'll be nice and lively for you, so you don't have to watch me just gather a whole bunch of things. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me on my wilderness adventure, and I will see you next time.
Hey mates, thanks for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you like what you saw, please go ahead, leave a comment, subscribe, and definitely come back for another video. I really appreciate your time and support, and I can't wait to take you on another adventure. I thank you so much.